right, we're picking up our truck from Donnie Bryant Transmission. He's got it fixed for us, going back in. A lot of thanks to Dolan and Matt, both of whom have incredible talent with straps and knots. We had a little bit of an issue though, and I've got a number of projects that we can do with this when we get it back home, starting with brakes and rotors and rims. But thank the Lord for protecting us and protecting Donnie, because this tire back here fell off while he was test driving it. These aftermarket rims, the lug nuts loosened up. I guess the only explanation I got, they just worked themselves loose. They were loose on the passenger side as well. So got a little bit of damage back here. I'll show you that in more detail. But anyway, we're picking her up and taking her home. So a couple of things. These lug nuts worked themselves off, and this wheel came off. Drum's off. It's in the back bed of the truck. This was the damage. It is not horrible. Hey man, it could be a whole lot worse. But I'll have to see if I can straighten that out, do a little bit of work on it, and fix it. But it's not nearly what it could have been, so I'm very thankful for that. I've also got, I'll show you something here. Now this wheel was fine, and this rim is flush on that rotor. But on this side, this wheel's got a gap in the rotor. Now we pulled the tire off and tried to put it on several times. It will not go. That's a different rotor than on the driver's side. The only thing I can speculate there is when I'm building two different trucks, I mean one truck from two trucks, I just ended up with two different rotors. What I can't explain is how I got that wheel on there, tightened it down, and drove it like that. And it did not wobble at all. So I gotta get me some new lug nuts. I don't know if I'm gonna trust these. I'm gonna get me some different ones. But it does move under its own power, which was the goal. So when I moved it this morning, forward, backward, so it's doing what it's supposed to do. I'm gonna fix these brakes. I'm gonna fix the rotor as well, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And then I'm gonna take it back to the fella at the transmission shop, because he said he feels like it's pretty good, but he wants to put a few more miles on it, you know, do a little bit more of a test drive. It was not his fault that the wheel came off, but I don't have any other explanation except they just worked themselves loose. Okay, well here are the two rotors, and I don't feel quite so bad because they're very, very similar. But here's the difference: this right here versus this right here. This one fits. This one does not. Hey, let's call that about 2.5 inches. All right, that's good. But here's what's happening. This allows the rotor to go down into the hub of the wheel, but this lip right here is catching right there, because as you can see, it is definitely taller than this one. So, well, that was my problem, but I've always promised, if I do it right, I'll show you. If I do it wrong, I'll show you. So I've got to take this rotor here. I think I'm gonna actually put both of them in my truck. I gotta find one like this. I gotta make sure I don't have one like that. I could just take the wheel in the back of my truck too, but I believe I can find that one right there. That's gonna be the ticket, and we're gonna be in good shape, and we'll be able to get the front back in working order. All right, this is the wheel that came off. I got some things missing here. A little piston that comes out of the wheel cylinder. I don't have one, it's gone. A couple little parts here that came out. He did pick up off the ground, my adjuster. But I know I'm missing the little metal piece that sort of helps that, you know, that adjust it, auto adjust. So yeah, all this has just got to come out, and I'll have to get another kit. So I really want to do a disc brake conversion on this. $350, and I'm not sure I will have everything that I need. These backing plates right here have to come off. Pretty much means the axle's got to come out. I don't want to do that right now, so I'm going to get a drum brake kit to fix this back and then test out this transmission. But I can't run this brake like it is. Wheel cylinder will blow out. I'll lose all my fluid. Won't have any brakes, so can't do that. I thought I'd show you the damage. A little bit of tire rub right there, so I need to check that tire, make sure it didn't cut it too bad. Obviously, I got a little tire rub in here. Still need to clean all this up. But here's the bad part. That tire caught it right here and rolled this entire piece under. So I've got to get this skin down so I can see what I've got, see if I can shape it back into place. But man, it could have been so much worse. I don't have any real paint cracking all up in here, so I mean, it really would be a matter of knocking this down, getting that shape back, and then see if I can't respray, you know, a portion of this right here, and then blend it in. This is a single stage paint, so I believe I can blend it in pretty good with, and then put the cut and buff on it and match it up pretty good. Let's see if I got some of that paint. Oh, yes I do. Here's the, I think this is the hardener. Yeah, the activator. Oh, I don't have much. I can get me a little bit more of that. That is an Oxford white, Ford color. It is not a bright white. It's like an antique white, but it looks good with that red. It's got just the slightest tint of cream if I park it next to my real white truck. But I like it, it's a good color, it's an old school color. Yes, I know it will look worse before it gets better, but this has got to come out to here. This has got to be straight across out to about right here, and then this part folds in. This part here is flat and it starts to angle in, so I've got to get in on out flat as well. Let me show you what the other side looks like. So you can see on this side, it does begin to sort of taper under the truck, but this is a sharp body line, and this is a 90, basically a 90. I got a long way to go. Yeah, this has got to come out to me a little bit, all the way down to come in here. This right here is actually pretty good, and this right here was all fine, so I want to smooth this out and get me a level or a square or something to pull it out here like this and see what I got. And then this part, about that much of it is what folds in. Okay, looking good. New brake kit put in. Y'all wanna see something that really stinks, like just really bad? It goes behind this, retains those pieces. These are not too terribly bad though, so let me see if I can get those done. This one kind of sucked, but now that I know how to do it, it won't be bad. Okay, got it back on. That literally took probably 2 minutes. Once I figured out how to do this one down here, it worked out really good. It's the self-adjuster. I'm gonna put the drum on and see if it rubs and how it does. The brakes are gonna work right. I probably need to adjust them. Let's see what we got. Okay, tires on. Torqued and torqued and torqued, went around several times. I'll drive it a little bit, hit it some more. It kept on tightening, so I'm a little bit worried about that wheel. They still make those, so if I have to replace it, I will. Now, this was my good rotor, so I'm gonna put it back on. Bearings are all set. I'll get that back in place, get that wheel back on. All right, so the new rotor does sit down exactly like it's supposed to. No gap, fits right. But now what I gotta do is take this old rotor. I bought a new seal, but I gotta get this bearing out of here because I gotta reuse that. Okay, bearing put in, new seal put in. The old one popped out. Just might could have used that again. But new is better. Now, let's get this tire on. All right, second application, and yes, I slathered it on there. This body line needed some attention because this part here, it rounded off too much. This one down here got good. This is great. So I'll come back after a while. It's already starting to harden up, but I want it good and dry so I don't mess up all my paper. But I'll take it down, but I wanted some extra here because I really want to make sure that I block this line out. All right, so got down here, did a little bit more work on it. Trying to recreate that body line. Primer's still wet, but it's coming through. Watch out. So it's coming through. This body line's getting kind of straightening up, and this one here, still got a little bit more work to do. I don't like this spot right here. And I've got to do this underside here. All this is still wet, but I've got a little bit of a too much right there. Not a whole lot more I can do with it without bending some of that back, but I might do that. That's the only part that bothers me right there. Of course, with the white, it won't be near as obvious. Yeah, it's coming back much better than what it was. All right, today is the day. We're gonna put a little paint back here. I'm not painting up to those lines, obviously, and I don't want to paint inside my gas filler. I'm just gonna kind of cloud over it. But I do want to get underneath here and then the rest of it. I'm most worried about this line right here because I don't want any kind of a hard edge. I just want to get a good coat here, and I want to fan it out here so I can blend it. All right, it's probably hard to see on this camera, but the color match looks perfect. I don't see any issues with the color match. It went on great. I do see some places in my Bodywork that just weren't ready. I wish I had primed it again. You could see it a little bit better. I don't like how that part down there curls under a little bit too much. But, you know, I've got plenty of paint left, and I got nothing but time on this truck. So I'll come back and a few little things that I want to fix. I'll kind of polish this out and buff it. Probably not yet, because I do see a few things right in here that I want to do better, and I'll work on that. And maybe that'll be for another video, but there it is. She's, for the most part, back in action. So there you have it. Man, it's been a while on that one. What a disaster, but we got it going back in our direction now, so I feel good about it. I'm gonna push this back in the shop like it is. I'm just gonna let it cure for a while. We'll get back on it. I did want to update you that this back wheel back here, once I got it put back together, new brakes and all, it's got a wobble in it. So you watched earlier videos, we've already changed that axle once, and I believe we have bent the other one when the tire came off, the wheel came off. But she's on there now with about 300 pounds of torque, foot-pounds. I've got a source for a new axle, not a new one, a used axle. Just got to get with the guys at 256 Garage up in North Alabama. They've got at least one. They told me they'd sell me, and I'd like to get up there and get that from them at some point in time in the future. And if not, I'll find another one. But it's always cool to work with some guys that you met even through YouTube. Look them up, 256 Garage. I'm looking forward to get up there and maybe see if they'll sell me an axle, because I need one. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one.